Oh, he didn't play knight f6, did he? Okay, okay, good. Ludwig does not take the pawn. I was very worried we might see a repeat of one of his previous games where knight takes e5, he would play knight takes e4. But okay, at least xQc will have a chance here to defend his pawn, which he should defend with his knight or with his pawn here.
Right. It seems like both players played very quickly, not thinking about the move order too much. Bishop b4 he goes for instead. Okay. Did he do any prep on this that you know of?
No, I mean I'm in the dark like everybody else. I have no inside information in terms of what xQc has done as preparation. So okay, so Ludwig plays knight d5, which is a reasonable move. Probably it's going to keep going. Hopefully there are no blunders at the very start of the game.
Right. He played it very quickly, actually, which would be strange if it's the first time he's seen this move to play so quickly. Like, he doesn't want to make a mistake too early in the opening.
Right, agreed. So I'm a little bit surprised by this opening choice from Ludwig. It doesn't feel very natural, and it's definitely not the correct way to play this. So I'm kind of wondering if Ludwig is feeling a little bit of nerves here in this opening phase of the game, because it feels like he's moving a little bit too quickly in a position where this definitely is not something that is known.
Right. Okay, so this is still a position though where he can make some pretty intuitive moves. C3 I like because he's going to support d4 in the future. As long as Ludwig takes out his light squared bishop and is able to castle, then he'll probably get out of the opening just fine, but so will xQc.
Right, exactly. So I mean, I think the thing is here, xQc has to be a little bit careful here with his next move, whether to move the bishop to c5 or to a5. Potentially, white can make a queen check after you move the bishop back, but I still like this opening choice for xQc. This looks pretty good.
Right. I mean, bishop a5, queen a4 check. That's starting to look very tricky there, because then xQc would have to block with the pawn and protect his bishop with the queen. But there is a chance that he would. Okay, so he plays bishop c5, which is definitely the safer move, so he doesn't have to worry about that threat.
Right. Very, very good move by xQc. Here, Ludwig should play d4, which he does play. Okay. So far, both players I feel like are playing good moves. Both players are playing this quite well. So I think the position is very balanced, but it's important for xQc, I think, more so than Ludwig, to finish the development of his pieces, because that bishop, knight, and rook are on their original squares. So it's okay. This I do not like, however, pawn takes pawn, because now black can make a check with the bishop, and you have these two pawns, which I think xQc would say they're stacked, which are not ideally placed here.
Well, let's take a listen on xQc's stream and see what he's talking about.
He has a 4 here and I have a 2. I don't mind this. He's towered. Is he not? He absolutely is. Yeah, I'm out with this.
All right. Well, I think the audio is a little bit scuffed on xQc, so we're just going to come back to the game now. xQc goes for the check. I actually like his position here now because Ludwig has the two doubled pawns in the center. That's going to be a weakness later on. And bishop d2 is actually going to help xQc trade that bishop off that may have been at some risk of getting stuck otherwise.
Right, exactly. So yeah, xQc has played a very good game so far. He definitely needs to trade the bishops, though. There's really no other move that makes sense other than maybe a queen check, but I'd be surprised if he doesn't trade the bishops here, because it's obviously the correct move to play.
He is hovering over his queen. Okay, he just played bishop takes d2, so he certainly took both into consideration, and he saw that as the best choice. If he castles here, gets his king to safety, then he's also preparing a rook on e8 check right away. Ooh, okay, queen e7 check instead.
Completely reasonable move here. I like everything that xQc has done so far, and yeah, it's anyone's game at the moment.
Okay, well, I think we can take a listen on Ludwig, see what his thoughts are on the opening so far.
It might just be castle here.
he's very focused. Both sides have castles, so that's nice. They're both in safe positions. I like that they've made it out of the opening. They're both solid because it seems like it's been a very level game so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Certainly at this point, it's very level. Both players have developed their kings. The one thing that I would say for xQc, again, is one thing that he needs to remember is he has to get those 3 pieces into the game.
So I like my position because this knight can only go really in one spot. Okay, wait, hold up, I'm thinking. If I go here, he trades, I take with my bishop. But if I go here, he takes, I take, then I have tempo. So I think
that's
it's better
a good
to
move.
do that.
Nice thought process there. I love how he paused the music to think.
Right. Yeah, he's doing very well so far. I really like his position at the moment, and I think that in general,
I want to play
Ludwig
H3 anyway.
The concept very well. The one issue I would say here, though, is that the position is simplifying in a way where all the pawns are pretty stable for both players. So I'm not so sure that that it's going to be easy for either side to come up with concrete plans to try and win this game, because the pawns are very, very stable here. It's going to be hard to make blunders and lose pieces.
This pawn is sick, though.
True.
This is a fucking fire pawn. Hot.
I will say, though, xQc being 3 minutes down on the clock is a little bit worrying, because we know that was an issue for him before, like in his game against Hutch. And even if he has an even position in a endgame where he's down on time.
He blundered. Oh, he could have taken the knight.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see if either of them correct it.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so now xQc has to take the knight. He must take this knight here.
Takes. He's under pressure from a rook. He'll have to move. His only real options, I guess he could go super aggro. No, he couldn't. He can't go on this file at all.
Okay, so they trade the bishop. So now xQc is out of danger again. So xQc is back out of danger, and now the position is it's a very dry kind of position here. I think that objectively, white is better, but it's going to be very hard for Ludwig to prove an advantage because of the placement of the pawns and just the general fact that the knights are easier to move than bishops. They're just easier pieces to see the moves with. Like, the ideas with bishops are much more, they're much trickier, I would say, than with a knight.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I just also would add that the clock is probably going to be the most important factor moving forward. So hopefully xQc is trying to think on Ludwig's time. And if we see him playing a little bit faster, then that will definitely increase his chances of winning or holding this game.
Right. I would definitely agree with that assessment. I do like, though, again, xQc, one of the main issues he's had playing chess is finishing the development of his pieces. And again, in this game, it looks like he's going to be able to get his rook from a8 into the center of the board to e8 and just play the game of chess, all the development completed, and then we'll see who comes up with the better ideas. Okay, so bishop g4, I like. It's a good move. It attacks the queen. Now here, xQc should play queen to b5, attacking this pawn on d5.
And so putting pressure on b2, even if it's protected for now. But,
right,
you know, Ludwig might always move.
Yeah, even f5, I think, is a good move here, too. So many good moves.
And he goes for f5, so that's definitely more aggressive. And I see that we actually have his stream that we can bring up as well. So let's do that.
I bet you a couple marbles that he did not think about the pawn. He just didn't think about it. Because then it takes. And I'm going to have developed. And my file here is fully open. That is a fully open juicer. And then I can do tricks like this. Bing. Bop, bim, bop, and lose -2 because I'm fucking stupid. Think about it. Think about it.
He seems very
Come on,
relaxed.
come on, come on,
a
come
little
on.
too
Make a response
relaxed
to this,
with his
dude.
time situation.
The problem
Yeah,
is, I'm
I
gonna have
think
to
he
support
seems
this
pretty
pawn with,
calm.
like, another pawn.
I would say
So
though
I can move my
again,
queen,
the
but that'll make
position's
my queen
easier
vulnerable
for
a
him to
little bit,
play
which I don't
though.
like very much.
That's the one thing
It's not
that I
a
would
position I like to
say.
be in. Because I'm gonna have to do suicides to help like the king later on.
Caffeine kicking
Got
in
that in
now.
the corner over here,
Mhm.
and they do yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. I don't like it. Yeah, move back to the shadows. That's what I thought. Now I can force right here.
Very good.
Cut your hair? Sure, man. How about you? Dude, how about you cut my hair? How about that? What if you cut my hair instead, dude? I don't mind that trade. That's very good. If I trade him, it puts him out of balance, and if he trades me, it puts me into balance. So, I'm okay with it.
He's developed all his pieces, Hikaru. This is
I like
really a great.
Okay, this is my queen, isn't it?
progress.
Isn't it? Is it? Yeah, to put this guy into position, it takes me 2 moves. If I do this, it only takes me 1 move. No. If I do this, it's in position. If I do this, she can do whatever. But if I do this instead, it didn't take him 2 moves to get into position. If we need him to. I will take with the queen, I think. But nothing to defend my file though. Or my rank. Yeah, nothing to defend my rank.
It's got to
That
move
was
though.
an
Too slow, too
interesting
slow.
way of thinking about it. Yeah, you're right. He's under 4 minutes. I obviously, we would say take with the rook. You usually want to bring your rooks to open files, but
Like
it's interesting
this.
to see
Maybe
his
this is a
thought process.
mistake.
Right,
will
and I
talk
think he's
this-
doing completely fine.
Yeah, his position is very comfortable here.
Mhm.
But I haven't heard him talk about the time situation yet, which worries me because if he isn't paying attention to it, he's not going to try starting to move faster already.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, he just needs to be careful with the time, but
But yeah, he is playing very well so far. So hopefully a good move for Ludwig. He could also put his rook on c1. He could bring it on the open file. I think if Ludwig does natural developing moves here and keeps the time advantage, he's looking like a favorite in this match.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard though to come up with ideas here for White because this is a very kind of dry position, very few pieces on the board, so ideas are going to be fairly hard to see for both sides.
Right. Yeah, I mean, moves like a3, which, hold an important purpose, not letting the knight go to b4 if you ever move the queen, but they're very quiet moves that, you wouldn't expect people to see so quickly.
Right. I mean, I think here it's very hard to see anything except for the open e file for both players. So that's why I think in general it's a position that I think might be a draw if the time evens out here. And Ludwig is thinking for a long time as well because the ideas are not obvious. There's nothing really clear cut here. It's even material, even number of pawns, just a very tough position to play for both players without many ideas.
Right, and that's why Ludwig goes for rook e1. So he's offering off the trade. xQc takes immediately, which is nice. He made a fast move here. Do you think an idea like king f7 and trading off queens is something that we might see xQc go for here?
That would be very, very good. I think the real danger here is that xQc might try to bring his queen to attack the pawns here on the queen side of the board. And that's kind of the real danger that I see here, whereas he really needs to keep his queen close to his king.
Right, because if the queen were to take on d4 or a2, then all of a sudden the e8 square isn't defended anymore, and Ludwig can just come in with checkmate.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Oh, well, that would be tough. Let's take a listen also on Ludwig's stream, see what he's saying again.
Pretty much newspaper at this point. It's so worn in.
Okay, he's focused again, just quiet sigh here. Queen e6 is also a good idea if xQc
Yeah,
doesn't
this is the
defend it.
danger. I was worried this would happen, queen a4. This is exactly what I was worried about. Yeah,
Oh, it was just played.
yeah.
Wow. Let's see if Ludwig sees the queen e8 future threat. Even queen e6 is kind of
I hope
scary.
he falls for this bait. If he takes this pawn,
Oh, he
I
saw
have
it.
mate.
There you go.
so I guess I have to do something like really dumb, like this. Just something that doesn't fucking matter at all, and then hope that he takes this pawn.
He's trying to
or
bait
this
him.
pawn, and then I win. This was a throwaway move to bait it,
This is actually pretty funny.
because the only thing protecting this right now is his queen. But if he moves his queen off of a4, then we're in business.
Okay, so at least he sees it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so xQc makes space for his king.
So it looks like he might know.
Ooh, this move I don't like from Ludwig at all. Now queen takes pawn. Okay, now it's getting very tricky.
Yep.
White
XQC
is still probably much better here, but it's getting tricky.
Why is that not mate?
and
Oh, he moved his pawn.
and
Duh,
that's
I'm
what you
fucking
want to
stupid.
go for, especially when
He moved his
you're
fucking
low
pawn.
on the
Shit!
on the time
He's smart!
situation, because maybe he'll be able to trap Ludwig and get a bishop
Okay.
up or something like that with a double check.
Right, right. I mean, and the danger here for Ludwig is the pawn on f2 is hanging.
Yeah. So he needs to bring his queen back and defend it. Oh, don't take the pawn, because queen takes f2 is kind of scary after, even though bishop g2 works. But
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough spot to be in for both players. I still think I would prefer to be white objectively, considering the situation, the danger of the black king. But very, very hard for both players to play this correctly here. And I think we could see a repetition potentially. But the key here that xQc needs to be aware of is that the white bishop cannot become an active piece here. You need to leave the bishop and then bring your knight to the center of the board.
right. Yeah, his knight is on a6, so it's not a great square. So he's basically playing right now with just a queen versus a queen and a bishop. But if he starts activating his knight, bringing it in, say, a square like c5, then he'll be able to hop into the attack soon and could be a lot more dangerous, or, you know, even a defending piece in the future.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, yeah.
Oh, Ludwig sees the f2 pawn, and it looks like he's going to play queen e2.
Oh, this is not a move that I like. Again, I mean, it's very hard looking at this as a strong chess player to sort of step back and look at it from their point of view. The problem for Ludwig here is that I think xQc can trade the queens off at some point with queen to e5 check, and if he does that, he's going to be ahead by one pawn, and it'll be a knight against bishop, which should be easier to play.
I'm just not sure if xQc will see that with his limited time, and I do like the fact that Ludwig found one of the scariest threats and he defended it just from a
Although
you know,
now black can
principled
take
point
the
of view.
pawn with the knight.
True. I mean, xQc has now activated his knight as well, and he's up a pawn. So he does have a better endgame here. He's under 2 minutes on the clock, but all of a sudden Ludwig is lower on time as well.
Right, yeah. So I like everything that xQc is doing here. This is a fantastic position for him. I'm not really sure what Ludwig can do. This is very unpleasant because black can put a knight on the dark square in front of the pawn, and then the double pawns are really in bad shape for white.
Well, let's listen on xQc.
Yeah, this is a good move. I kind of like this. This gives me kind of like a cool fork here, dude. Well, that's a kind of a cool fork. I kind of like that. I like this idea. This kind of seed idea that develops. It starts as some like a small worm, but then it becomes cocooned, and then fully up into a butterfly, dude. I like the progression of it. That's intense. That's inspirational, dude.
So artsy.
Oh no, he took. Oh no. Oh no. xQc should win the game now, I think.
Okay, now what?
How good are xQc's end games from what you've seen so far?
My king is safe.
So I mean, what I've seen from xQc in general is
It's time.
is that he tends to be pretty good when the time gets low and it's fairly simple.
Now I can start doing shit like this.
So
Bang
I think
and
xQc.
bang.
Okay, so
My pawns
Ludwig
are
plays
protected.
f6 check. So I guess you can move the king back. Really, the thing here for xQc is that he keeps making the moves quickly.
Right.
So you should move the king.
Okay, queen, check my discovery. I move pawn.
Dvoretsky's endgames, yes.
Come on, king g8. And now if Ludwig plays queen to g6, there will be queen to f7 or queen to e5, which are both winning for black. And I do expect Ludwig to play queen to g6 here, so it looks like an obvious move to create threats against black.
That might be the game. That might be the difference between winning and losing. Because now my king lost one position.
What I would also say here is that in this position, it feels like in terms of position,
which is fine.
Okay, so he does it. Okay. So queen e5 or queen f7. Come on.
I don't understand that. Incoming checkmate.
Come on, Felix. Queen f7. Come on. Queen f7. Or queen e5. Come on. Queen f7 or queen e5. He's hovering. Come on, do it. Do it, man. Do it.
And then he grabbed the pawn.
Bitch.
Wow, very nice. And if he trades off the queens,
and then I can force trade it because I have more.
He's just going to be up 2 pawns after he also takes f6. It should be easy to win. Ludwig should try to keep the queen on.
And he can't adjust. He can't put more pressure here with anything. It's all too far. And I have my king in range for pressure. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 power pressure, and he has 2. He loses 100%. He has to get out. Actually, he can't get out. He's fully committed.
Right, so now you can take with the queen.
Ludwig also under 2 minutes on the clock now.
This is good. This is very good.
And I end up +2.
And I could also see something queen e8 check, king h7,
like
queen
this,
e4.
and I move my pawn. Then I move.
I could see queen e8, king h7, queen e4 to hit the king and the pawn, and then queen g6 would actually win the game. So yeah, I'm king h7, of course, here by xQc. Just move the king.
Okay.
So you just got to move. Just got to go king h7 and then block with the queen. Okay, this move I don't like. I thought if he moved the king up, he would have actually won the game almost for sure because there would have been a queen check by Ludwig there. So okay, I don't really love this move, but nonetheless, he's good. Just move the king. Okay, queen f7. Yikes.
Yeah, he's giving up the d pawn here. That's a little concerning. He should try to keep the b6. Right, seems like a really safe move here.
Right, but I would hope that he plays it. Okay, good move. So move the king, of course.
Because if he moves the queen, then he's also losing a7. Okay, perfect. Moves the king away.
Wow, this is going to be
hopefully
an interesting finish.
I mean, if Ludwig moves his queen back and he sees that way to trade off queens, then he should be winning with an extra pawn.
Right. Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting finish to the game. I mean, Ludwig is actually down on time now as well. He has less time than xQc.
Oh, this is intense. Okay, so Ludwig goes for a4. I think he's just not sure how to continue here.
Right.
But the pressure is on xQc to force and win. Well, now he's going to be at risk of perpetual checks because his king is more open.
Yeah, I don't think either player here knows what they're doing. I think it's
whoa, Hikaru! Wow.
Both players need to. Well, this is a very hard position to play for both players. What I hope is that neither player blunders their queen. This is really the thing I could see is you accidentally make a check and you leave a queen under attack. I totally could see something like that happening here. So this is just going to be very hard. I think both players are going to have to play on tempo and hope that the other guy misses something. That's what they're going to have to do here. And now, unfortunately, after queen d6, there is no queen g6 check anymore. So this is going to be tough for both players. I don't even know what to make of this, honestly. I think this game could go either way. Even though black has the extra pawn, I think this might be a draw, actually. The more I look at this, the more I think this might just be a draw.
Right, because, Ludwig, the only thing is he spent 30 seconds on his last move. That's a lot of time, obviously almost like 50% of his time here. So hopefully he used that time to think of a plan. And if he sees that he could just keep repeating the checks, then he'll get a draw.
Yeah, I think this might be a draw. I don't even know what to make. It's just so hard to play for both players. So
okay,
Ludwig's
he saw it.
Quicker. He's got to move quicker. Ludwig is moving way too slowly here.
But he saw the key move here, so.
Yeah.
Oh, no! He didn't go for the draw.
Whoa, oh, no. Okay. Whoa, but you can take the pawn. Oh, my gosh, what's going on? Now queen g2 check is coming and pawn to h2 also. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Queen G2, checkmate. Checkmate. Queen G2.
Oh my god.
Yes!
We're on
Yeah,
execution.
baby!
Wow. Oh my god, what a throw by Ludwig. He had a draw. I think the thing is, when you're solo on time, like 20 or 30 seconds, you shouldn't try to go find new ideas. He had one idea and he could have just tried to stick to it. It almost seemed like he was going for a win, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ludwig is the favorite in this match, but I think he let the pressure get to him there, and he got too aggressive, and wow, I mean, wow, I don't even know what to say. That was so amazing. Crazy. But yeah, it's 1-0 now. Game 2 coming up. Ludwig actually is the black piece, which I think is which is definitely going to make it much more difficult to win this match. But as I've said before, I think one of the things that's most inspiring is the way you see the progression, the way people have improved, and to see xQc's play over the last probably 2 to 3 matches compared to what we had seen is it's spectacular, and it's really made it a lot of fun to watch, because a lot of the mistakes he was making, even if he's still making some mistakes, are not the same kind of mistakes. And yeah, it's just amazing to see, really.
And the next game is going to start in less than a minute. So we're going to see xQc with the white pieces and Ludwig with the black pieces. There's no break. They're just going to go right away. And on that note, let's take a listen on Ludwig as well. See if he's able to recover.
I'm going to run the restroom, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, sounds good. Oh, chat, he's quiet. Hopefully he can recover. It's tough psychologically to have to go straight into it after a checkmate like that.
I can make this comeback. I'm confident I can run it back and win it. He played out of his goddamn mind. I played a bit like a shit can. But I know what he wants, and his biggest thing is trading. I just need to capitalize. I need to look. This was open. Then he's in check. He has to move. Free pawns. I need to see these things. Okay, apparently that was better, but who cares? That's,
all right,
that's nerd shit.
Okay, like big second game.
I know
as
a fact we bring
what
this
was the
back.
Accuracy, Alexander? Do we know what the accuracy was?
With all the knowledge.
Yeah, 1 second.
Imparted.
Let's go back. Yeah, so the accuracy was like over 90% for xQc or in the 40s for Ludwig. xQc, I think it was 93% accuracy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great game by xQc there. Fantastic.
He's such a proud dad, Hikaru.
I mean, I think, yes, I'm very happy to see it, but I think it's, as I say at the end of the day, it's not specifically like my doing. It is the players at the end of the day who find the best moves. And to see xQc playing a lot better than he was before, and I think in many ways just relaxing after those first couple of games in the bracket stage, it certainly seems like he's a much better player, and he seems much happier, and he seems to be enjoying it in a way that I don't think he was at the start of the event. So just really, really happy for Felix. Again, the match is not over. There still is a second game to go, though, and anything can happen, as we've seen. And Ludwig looks actually a little bit rattled. If you look at him, I don't think he was expecting xQc to play this well. He definitely looks rattled. So it's going to be a very interesting second game in terms of what Ludwig tries to do.
It seemed a bit like he underestimated xQc. If you remember that moment when he played King H2 trying to bait xQc into falling for a mate in 1. He didn't go for the most accurate move because he didn't expect the best out of his opponent. And the game is on, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. xQc white pieces. He goes for E4. He's probably going to play a scotch like he always does. Knight f3, D4. Oh, okay. He goes for a Ruy Lopez instead. Bishop B5. This is, I think, the most commonly played opening at this stage.
Okay, and Ludwig plays Knight F6. Okay, this is kind of weird. Okay, this is just a very weird opening.
Okay.
So he takes the knight. Okay, this is relatively okay. Okay, now Ludwig takes with a B pawn, which I really don't like, because now you can play knight takes pawn.
Right.
So I don't know what Ludwig is doing. I feel like he was playing E5 in his main matches, but taking with the B pawn is not the correct move. You're supposed to take with the other pawn.
And it just seems like then he's probably not familiar with this opening, and that's why he wasn't sure how to recapture.
Right. So I guess like it's a little bit surprising to see this from Ludwig, because I know that I told Ludwig quite a while ago now. This is probably well over a week, but I told him that you always take with the D pawn towards the center. You take away from the center in this one instance, as opposed to capturing towards the center. So I'm very very surprised by this move from Ludwig. So he takes the pawn.
And it looks like, so let's listen on xQc. I want to hear his thought process behind this.
In other openings, it's what they call it a gambit. Because yes, you go +1 at the beginning, right? But in a few moves, you'll lose it back. But it opens other tree of possibilities that you want, and that's what you want by doing that opener. So you want that small tree to be opened up. But in the end, you still go back to even.
Well, he's already up a pawn, actually, so it's a little better than just a gambit, because even if he loses that pawn back, he already got the one on E5 first.
Right.
But he's right with his idea that he is going to get a lot of piece activity in return for losing the E4 pawn.
Yeah, so I think at this point, xQc should move the knight back. He can capture the pawn as well, but the danger with capturing the pawn is that after queen takes pawn, it's not so easy to see that you can block with your queen.
Right, because then you're pinning the queen to the king, and the queen can't take the knight. But he did say that he just wanted to get out of there, so I can see him playing a safer move like knight f3 or knight d3, which maybe is a little bit less intuitive because it's not the original square. And after he moves his knight back, he's still going to have to block with the queen, though, because otherwise, I guess he can make a move like bishop e3 also.
Right. I mean, I think the key, though, is that he doesn't make a mistake here. He needs to move the knight here. And it's very important that he moves the knight back to f3 or to the d3 square and castles the king. But yeah, I think certainly for Ludwig, the most important thing here is staying calm and understanding that he is still objectively, or he should be the better player, and not getting super rattled. I think you're right that in the last game, he kind of underestimated xQc, and he thought he was just going to win, and he could bait him into falling for that checkmate, which didn't work. So yeah, I think it's anyone's game here. If xQc finds the right moves, he should be significantly better, but it's going to be hard to find these moves.
Right. Well, let's get some insight on what Ludwig is thinking. I'm curious if he changed his approach in this game. So we're going to listen in on his stream.
Wait, what?
This guy's crazy.
No, that's not a good idea. Well, xQc just blundered a piece. Also, what is this song remix?
YMCA.
Yeah. What, like an electronic version? Do you think Ludwig realizes that he's winning now? Because I haven't heard him say anything about that.
No, I mean, I think right now he's just very, very serious.
Yeah. chess and fun song remixes. I mean, he can even stop xQc's castle here if he wants by playing a move like bishop a6. Really
I think
hard.
that's a little bit too advanced to find right here.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think Ludwig just needs to figure out the right way to activate his bishops. If he does that, I think he'll be in very good shape.
People putting DMCA.
Right, yeah. Although he sees it. He sees bishop a6 here, so
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like it because you bring the bishop out to a square where I think he can get attacked, but nonetheless, yeah, I think, I don't know.
It
It's
is
a tough
risky.
position for both
It is
players
risky.
to play.
Wait, is this a YMCA mix with Time? By wow, well, what a song choice. I'm digging it.
Yeah, right.
But no, I agree with you. Sometimes moves that are more simple and safe when you're up a piece, like moving his darts for bishop to castle, would have been the safer choice.
Right, but bishop a6 is a great move here. It's a fantastic move to play. So I mean, I think probably Ludwig is going to win this game most likely, is my guess. But who knows? Who knows? I think it's anyone's game here.
Right, and if xQc wants to try to be tricky, he can play something like queen a4 here, but then Ludwig does have bishop b5, which defends the bishop and the pawn at the same time and keeps the white king from being able to castle.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is already very, very difficult for xQc to play here. Just being down this one bishop, I think. I mean, it's hard to find good moves. Yeah, he goes knight d2. Now, of course, Ludwig can just take the pawn on this d4 square and probably go on to a pretty smooth victory if he does that. But yeah.
Right. He can also develop his bishop and just make sure he's going to castle. I feel like he has quite a few moves here that are fine.
Yeah. I think it's tough position for xQc here. Very tough position.
Yeah. I mean, those quick moves in the opening where he blundered, it really gave his chances away. Do you think it was because he played too quickly?
No, I mean, I think he was unfamiliar with it and he didn't want to retreat the knight. But as I said before, one of the biggest things that xQc has done in general in these games that I really like is he is actually using every piece that he has. It's not where he's simply using only one side of the board. He brings his knights, he's bringing his rooks into the game. That already, I think, is a very big improvement over what we have seen from him in earlier stages of this event.
Yeah, I think it's fair to give credit there. He's made an improvement, and he also came back after that really tough loss against Moist Critical, which is even harder than just having to improve your own chess, because you also have to get over, some psychological bad feelings.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely an improvement. I think he's probably going to lose this game, but I really have no idea who the favorite's going to be, because xQc, of course, has played a lot of bullet chess, so he knows how to play really quickly when he wants to. So I really don't have any idea who the favorite's going to be.
Okay, queen g4. So that's more of an aggressive move. He's also allowing himself to castle queenside at some point in the future. It's good that I kind of like that move. He doesn't really have any other pieces to develop. The only thing is he can't castle queenside and keep protecting the f2 pawn.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, objectively, it's winning for Ludwig, but again, he has to find some good moves here in order to win this game. He looks far more serious than I've seen him look at, I think, any other point in the entire event. He just looks really, 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 really stoic.
Yeah, and both of them look very serious. We've just seen the players getting increasingly more and more serious as the tournament gets on. This is what chess does to everyone. They might be entertaining streamers, but you just have to sit down and focus so much at sometimes. All right, e takes d4. That's a nice move from Ludwig. He's opening up the center when he's up a piece, and his opponent's king is in the center of the board. Of course, so is his. So he is going to have to castle at some point.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I think at this point in time, tough spot. White should probably push the pawn to c4 to try and get the king out of the center of the board, but at any rate, it's a very, very difficult spot to be in.
Right, and Ludwig can just grab that pawn on d4 as well. His queen is still going to protect the g7 spot. And then the white king really cannot castle on either side. I guess he can castle queenside. It's just very dangerous. Oof. This is a tough game, but if it does go to tiebreaks, Hikaru, 3-0 format, who do you think is better in short time control?
I think I really have no idea. I would think that it should be Ludwig, but xQc has played a lot of quick games, so I don't know.
Okay.
Also, I think you can tell how nervous Ludwig is because he like literally just got up and started walking, and I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. And he just got up and started walking. He looks really, really nervous. So,
I wish we had a heart rate monitor on the players. That would have been really fun. We should do that if we organize Pogchamps again.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you can just tell that both players are really, really nervous. So, okay, so xQc castles, which is the correct move. Maybe not correct move, but it's one of the best moves that he has available in the position, which doesn't lose on the spot. So,
right.
Even though this is Ludwig's game to win here, Bishop E5, for example, I think would win the game on the spot. There still is a lot of, or Bishop A3 also is very strong.
True, but like very hard to see because it looks like a free piece.
I think Bishop E5 is not a very hard move to see because you line up the bishop and the queen to attack. So if Ludwig finds that move, he'll win on the spot. I still think he's going to win. He's winning on the board. He's also way ahead on the clock as well. So to me, it seems very unlikely that xQc will come back here unless Ludwig makes a huge mistake.
And he is drawing an arrow to E5, so we might actually see it. Okay, well, let's take a listen on xQc and see how he's dealing with this position. It seems like he realizes he's losing here.
He knows. That's okay. Now I have a fork now. Oh my god, this is so beautiful. I have a fork. Oh my god. And if he takes, I take.
He doesn't see it right off.
Okay, last match. Let's go. Last match.
Yeah.
Let's go. Last match. Bring it on. Come on.
I mean,
match. Bring it on. Come on.
This was honestly a really nice game from Ludwig after he won the piece. I mean, seeing him move like Bishop A6 and Bishop E5, that combination, very, very nice job from Ludwig, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that was a very good opening from him. And actually, I think I assume Ludwig gets white, right, in the 3-0 game because he did better in his bracket. He must have won one game, I think, whereas xQc lost all three. So I assume Ludwig has white in the Armageddon game, unless I'm mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm being told as well. Well, we are going to take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back soon with the tie breaks. 3-0 time control, no increment. Ludwig with the white pieces versus xQc with the black pieces. Stay tuned.
Then I can't do anything from here. See those moves? They're not even blunders. They're all decent. Okay, what chat? It's a 2-minute game? What does it mean 2-minute game? What does a 2-minute game mean? Is it 3 plus something or is it 3 straight up? Oh. Ooh, that's kind of my specialty, is it not, chat? Let's go then. Let's go. Okay. Put me through. Yeah. He's gonna attempt a Scholar's Mate, then he's gonna start crumbling like dust. It's okay. We could do this. It's 2 minutes or 3? Chat, are they taking a break? Why is chat on? Because I have 2 tabs and I tab back into the chat whenever the game's over. 2-minute break. Let's practice. Fuck me. It's okay. Oh, I could have just not lost my thing like that. Oh, whatever. Nah, that's okay. Did you get forked? Yikes. You probably forgot about this though. Oh, we good, we good, we good, we good.
And we are back. We are about to see the tiebreak game between Ludwig and xQc. They went 1-1 in the classical format, so the 10 minutes with a 5-second increment. Now they're going to go down to just 3 minutes, no increment, 1 game only. Hikaru, any ideas on what the chances look like here for Ludwig and xQc?
I mean, I think it's very, very hard to predict. I think a lot is going to depend on the opening phase of the game. If xQc can get out of the first like 10 moves without being in trouble, I think his chances to win this game are very high. Whereas if he ends up in trouble right away, I think he's in bad shape. And I would say for Ludwig, it's really important that he presses the advantage in the opening phase of the game.
All right. Well, how much of a advantage do you think starting off with the white pieces is?
I don't think it's that big of an advantage in a match like this. But I think in general, it really depends on the opening setups that both players have. And I think the fact that xQc maybe doesn't have as stable of an opening setup could potentially affect him in a very negative way. But I don't think the color makes any difference.
xQc is warming up with some bullet. He's trying to get those fast clicks prepared. Oh, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think it's a good thing. Just play a couple of quick games. The only danger to playing bullet chess, if he loses a couple of games, then he's going to end up maybe feeling a little bit less confident. So that's really the danger and the only thing I don't like about playing a couple of games of bullet chess.
Yeah, that's very fair. And it looks like he's going to actually lose the bullet. Oh no, he's about to get mated in his bullet game. Okay, well, I guess he's going to be ready for the Ludwig game instead. All right.
So here we go, right?
Yeah, we have takeoff. E4,
okay,
E5,
go.
knight F3. Oh, they're playing the same thing as before, and Ludwig takes the pawn.
Oh no! Oh, why did xQc...
Holy smokes!
Wait,
they're blitzing this out.
Whoa! What's going on here?
Did Ludwig just miss Queen H5?
I'm so confused by this whole game. Okay.
Okay,
I don't really understand what either player is doing here, actually. Okay, so Bishop F6 here.
That could be the statement on a lot of the games so far. That was really fast. This is a blitz game, not a bullet game, and now it looks like xQc is already lost.
Well, you can play Bishop to F6. This is a very critical spot. Bishop to F6 is a very important move that xQc has to play here.
All right, well, let's listen in on Ludwig as well. And sorry, continue with what you were saying. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the issues with xQc not studying some of the basic openings or not taking lessons, that there was always a big danger that this could happen at some point, where his opponent just knows something that he's unfamiliar with.
Right. Well, Ludwig, super focused now. He actually missed mate in 2. Bishop G6 is checkmate in 2 if he sees it. And, I mean, xQc can only get out of it by...
Whoa, he castled, though. He didn't...
Oh, no! Okay, well, there's
Okay.
mate in 2. Is he
Yeah.
gonna see it?
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, you just don't miss it. Yeah. 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 Unfortunate.
Wow. Well, that was fast.
Wait, what?
Wait, he missed mate. He didn't take the rook. Oh no! Oh no! He missed the checkmate. What the heck just happened? Okay, I mean he's still winning, but it was an instant win there. I'm just gonna backtrack real quick to show chat. If he would have just taken the rook, it would have been checkmate. I think he's nervous. I think they're both nervous.
I'm really confused by this game. Not gonna lie. Okay, now White can take the knight though. Yeah, Ludwig should see this, right? I mean, yeah, he sees the backwards diagonal.
Well, I mean, Queen D5 looks great here. He can also play Queen F4. He's up a full rook, so even if he didn't see the checkmate, not just a full rook, sorry, a full rook and 3 pawns.
Right, but the thing is, the time is what matters. So if xQc moves quickly here, he just starts moving really, really fast. I think there is a chance for xQc to survive potentially, but he's gonna have to win this game on time. That's the only way he wins this game.
Right.
Okay, so King F7, Knight C. Oh, Knight C7, beautiful move by Ludwig. Very nice move, and yeah, now Ludwig should win the game. Very very nice. Tactic.
Well, let's listen.
Oh,
in on
whoops.
XQC.
Wait, what? Oh, he went for the cheese. Oh, he went for the cheese with Rook E8. I like that
no.
actually.
We're listening
Okay,
to
but
XQC.
yeah.
That's for flag.
He's hoping for the flag. That's a good strategy to try.
Yeah,
for
he just got to move fast. He just got to move really fast. Okay, but again, I think Ludwig has a little bit too much time here in order to in order to get the win.
Right. And what does happen if they somehow draw?
I assume they just play another game with colors reversed, probably.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But Ludwig is cleaning up the board here.
True. I mean, there'll still be some chances for stalemate or flagging. Aww. It's like whoever wins, obviously, even.
It's almost stalemate. If the king can get stuck in the center, okay.
He's playing fast at least, you know.
Whoa,
He's not
Ludwig
giving
is
his opponent time.
trying. Okay, yeah. Yeah, and there you go. Almost a stalemate there, though, but Ludwig wins. As expected.
Fuck. GG's. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Okay,
GG's.
well, Ludwig is moving on. That means that the final is going to be Ludwig versus Moist Critical. I mean, xQc had a really impressive first game.